Okay, game 4. Blackburne, Blanchard. Let's look at King's Gambit. E4, E5, F4. The King's Gambit, generally the best thing is black gets an advantage right away by accepting and just playing kind of wisely here with D6 and then maybe trying to hang on to the pawn. Um, and so it's not really a serious opening for white. Um, but it can be tricky, and somebody might use it um, to catch you off guard and to be hyper aggressive. So, but he plays f4. Already right away, you can see that the computer says that you guys are black's already even at bishop c5. c3, he's developing. Oh, by the way, if you were to play f takes e5, white can immediately counter trap with check, block, only move, check, and then that's going to drop the rook right here on e1. So anytime the f pawn's moved, there's a chance for a check right here and maybe picking up material here. So be very careful. Knight c3, c6, developing, game's going along normally, knight f3, e takes f4. Now he finally takes, which is probably not the best time because now comes d4. He develops, attacks this bishop, and he's going to get this pawn back on the next developing move. Black plays bishop b4, pinning this knight. There's the develop and the recapture. Now here, the best move for black is f6. And normal moves like d3, and then he can get in d5, and then he's pushed d5 when the knights and the queen is given that protection. So really, there's two pieces guarding that pawn. However, he pushes d5 here, and then now this gets him into a lot of trouble. The best continuation for white is actually e takes d, maybe bishop takes c, b takes c, queen takes, bishop develops, and now white's got like a real nice position here with two bishops and a pawn center, and really black's got his queen and his knight and nothing much else out. Okay, so white's got a heavy opening advantage here. But after d5, white plays knight e5, which is okay. It actually gets him more space and locks the center. But let's see how black starts to make small mistakes. So he actually captures here on c3 when he didn't have to, because if you notice, this is already pinned, and he doesn't have to capture it. Let white make a move first, like a3, and then you can retake when you're forced to. But here, there isn't any reason to rush. But so he captures this for no reason other than doubling his pawns when he could have gotten that at any time. So don't take something right away. If you can take it any time, hold on to it. Make the pin. Make your opponent feel that pin. Develops. This is probably a little better. It's on an open diagonal. At least this attacks something, and keeps white's queen tied to c2 instead of e6, where it's mostly defensive. d3. Okay, h6. And now let's evaluate the pawn situation here. White's pawns are pointing this way, and he's got that e5 pawn, which means this is more space for white. Black's pawns are pointing this way, and he's got more space on the queen side. So this is really where black should be focusing his attack or his forces. But instead, he pushes h6, which is just so slow and actually creates a weakness. And he did that just to keep this keep pieces out of g5. And he's going to make the mistake of castling to this side, which he should, which is the side you don't really want to go to. So quite honestly, it just doesn't work out for him right there. Okay, castles. Develops. Things are going well. Attacks that pawn. That's fine. Gets the rook on an open file. Black develops it. Black protects by pushing a pawn. Fine. Queen d2. Fine. Gets the queen off the back rank. Okay, now look at the change in evaluation. 0.7, essentially an even game, to positive 6.4. Black castles into the teeth of the attack. The pawns are pointing this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces are all pent up, ready to attack right here. And right away you can see that White knows that he can rip that open. And again, the piece for the 2 pawns and the attack is going to work out here. Attack. Boom. Rips it open, right? There's actually not much else better to do, because if he plays f5, that's not going to work out for him either, because he'll take with en passant, rook takes, bishop takes, king takes, and now h4, and then now this is a very devastating attack for White. So going back, he takes with the pawn, queen takes, and you can see that there's the queen invasion as always, and there's not much else available here. If he takes that, look at this. The same thing happens. Boom, boom. Oh, there's this piece that's hanging over here. Okay, and same thing if he takes with the bishop here. Bishop takes, knight takes, and this hanging piece over here becomes what White captures. So after queen h6, really only knight g6 is the only defense. And from there, White brings up reinforcements, knight g5. Now queen h7 is checkmate. And really, Black doesn't have much defense left. He can run away, and then this invades on f7, and watch this. Only move, check, slides over, and really it's a simple battery that creates checkmate here. And what if, and there's other options. Look at that. He can go with the bishop takes just g6, f takes g6, queen takes g6, king h8, and then this drops that piece right here, and White's up several pawns and still attacking. So if you go back to really this position right here, you could just see that after knowing the end of the game, what exactly Black did by putting his king into so much danger, as all this is facing the king side.